YouTube, Facebook. What is good, y'all? What is good? Happy Thursday to you. Happy Friday, Saturday. If you want to replay squad, whatever day it is that you're watching this, welcome to another episode, the final episode of this 4-part series, Recession-Proof Designer. Sharnice, what's good? Good to see you. Good to see you. Royal, what is good? First, I got to give a special shout out to this huge bump that decided to pop up on my face this week. I'm like, wow, I ain't had a huge bump like this in all my adult life, but yeah, it popped up like, hey, big head, this week. So I'm treating it, y'all. So don't judge me, okay? Evie, what is good? It's great to see you. Oh my goodness, what a pleasant surprise. Wow, great to see you, Evie, all the way over in Australia. What's good, Jen? What is happening? What is going on? Joe, what up? What up, my brother? What is going on? Friday morning. Wow. Wow. That's right. That's right. Christine, what is up? The family is in the building. Jasmine, great to see you. Great to see you. Damn, we got 20 users on here. Lakeitra, what is good? Sydney, what's up? What's up? Good to see you guys. You have been enjoying the series? That's what's up. That's what's up. That's good to know. That is good to know. Yes, we got a good one. This is the final one, the final episode in the 4-part series, the Recession-Proof Designer series. Shout out to the man, bro. It's crazy. And early I was getting impatient, so I tried to pop that sucker, and I think I made it worse. So I was like, let me go ahead and try to treat this thing. Bruh, I don't know if it's a stress bump or what, but I haven't had a bump like that in my whole adult life on my face, and it decided to pop up today. But yeah. Yes. Likewise. Sharice, what is good? And we got a full house in here for the finale. So yeah, y'all, I'm gonna jump right in. I'm not even gonna waste any time. So in this video, I'm gonna be covering how AI, Canva, Fiverr, and low-cost alternatives will affect us freelance designers. I'll also be talking about, let me see here, what else was on here that I'm gonna be talking about? Shoot, I have so many notes. let me check. Hold on, y'all. Let me just check what I sent out, because I'll like send out the email of like the overview, and then I'll just add a whole bunch of notes to it. So hold on, let me just check my content. All right, so how Fiverr, AI, Canva, and Fiverr and low cost returns will affect freelance designers. Why you need to level up right now or be put out of business. But to be honest, I mean, we've been talking about that every episode. So and then how to get clients with no experience. That's a big one. So I'll put you on game. I was going to make that a separate video. I probably still will make it a separate YouTube video. If you're in my group, we kind of talked about this strategy before, but I just want to kind of put it out here formally for folks, because I want to make sure that you guys get some like real value. I mean, hopefully you've been getting value already, but some real tangible like action steps that you could use right now. So and let me just add that back, because I don't know where that went in my notes. So oh, there it is. It's right there. I missed it. Dan, what is good, my brother? What is good? Raj, wow. Hello. What is going on? Kiana, Cecilia. This is like a family reunion. What is good, y'all? It's good to see you guys. Got me excited. All right, y'all. So we're gonna get into it. And let me just check my stream settings real quick, y'all. Make sure I'm in 4K on here. Boom, I'm in 4K. Cool. All right, y'all. So, pull up my notes again. Where'd they go? All right, here we go. All right, y'all. So the first thing we're going to get into is if you guys are on YouTube, please hit the like button for me. I'll be forgetting to ask, but I gotta remember I'm on YouTube as well as Facebook. Oh, and if somebody could share this and good to go, I meant to do that while we were on while I was on the countdown. Let me just do that real quick, y'all. Share this in my group, so make sure my fam is in on it. I believe they are. I believe we should be good. So hold on, y'all. Give me 1 second. All right, good to go. If you are in good to go, please join us. If you're a designer, join us. Just make sure that you fill out the membership questions. Oh snap! I gotta take a screenshot of this. This is hilarious. This is hilarious. All right. Cool. Can y'all see this real quick? Can y'all see this? Oh, that's the wrong screen. All right, let me go back. All right, y'all. Let me share this in the group and we're good. All right, cool. How AI, Canva, Fiverr, and low-cost alternatives will affect freelance designers, y'all. So if you're a designer, you may be seeing a lot of these low-cost alternatives popping up. Fiverr's been around. Canva, more and more people are using Canva, and there are a lot of low-cost alternatives. One that comes to mind is like Design Pickle. You know those services where you pay, let's say, $500, $1,000 a month, and they say, look, you get unlimited graphic design. You got places like 99 Designs. So there are a lot of quote unquote competitors and alternatives to designers. So that may be discouraging. And rightfully so, right? But I'm here to tell you that it should be motivating, and I'm gonna tell you why. So we're gonna get into it. All right. So there's a low bar for entry, right? There's a low bar for entry. There's a low barrier to entry when it comes to becoming a quote unquote graphic designer, right? Even somebody like me, I didn't go to school for graphic design. I'm not formally trained. I was able to jump in this thing and make $1 million. All right. So that's a quick example of, yeah, it's a low barrier to entry, but that's a good thing. But there are some negatives to it, right? There's a low barrier to entry, but there's a high bar for success. All right. So the barrier to entry to graphic design is low. Literally anybody can become a designer. Though these low cost options like Fiverr, Canva, etc., people trying to do designs on their own, it's easy to tempt clients. So especially if they're trying to, save money, of course they're going to try to go with a cheaper designer and lower cost options, right? So it tempts clients. So despite the incredible results that real designers can get for their clients, many people will end up having a poor experience with those lower quality options. Right. So they're going to end up having a poor experience and get a lower quality product. Right. But you don't have to be one of those designers. You can be extraordinary if you're willing to put in the time to educate yourself and become pro. So you really have to make a decision like, look, I'm going to be a professional. I don't want to be the low cost option. I don't want to be the bargain brand. I don't want to be the Walmart designer. I want to be more of a premium service provider. And this really is simple. It's making a decision and then taking the steps necessary to make that happen. Right. So you got to be committed. And you got to be willing to clear that bar. So there are two types of firms, and I got this from Blair Enns, right? So you have more productized firms, and then you have customized firms. So when I say firms, if you're a one-man band, like let's just say productized designers versus customized designers, right? So the more productized designers, so what do? They offer high volume but like low cost services. Let's say they sell templates. Let's say they have like certain graphics where they can just change the wording in the graphic, maybe swap some photos out, change some colors, or maybe it's a website template where they can easily swap stuff out. That's more productized, where it's just a product and it's something that's real simple. It's higher volume, but it's low cost. Let's say for like a flyer template or something, let's say charging between like $50 to $150 for it. If it's like a templated website, let's say they charge maybe $500 to $1,000 to make modifications to a template. So that stuff is more productized. The thing is, when you are more productized, it may be higher volume, but that stuff leads to burnout unless you have a larger team. So more productized firms or productized businesses, they really thrive better, or they operate better if they have a larger team. But I don't really recommend that for smaller teams or people that's like one-man bands like myself. I would recommend you be more customized. So what is customized? And you'll hear the gurus and just people online like, oh, productize is the way to go because it's low maintenance, blah blah blah. But I want to challenge you guys, because it seems like a lot of people are looking for the get rich quick scheme. Everybody's talking about passive income. Everybody's talking about, oh, what's the easiest way to be able to make a bunch of money. But I'm here to tell you, and I'm not really glorifying the hustle culture and the grind culture and all of that, but in a way I am, to be honest, because we need to get back to that. I'm not saying you got to wake up at 3:00 in the morning and all of that, even though I wake up earlier than that, but it's okay to put some work in to get some great results. Okay. It's okay. I'm giving you guys permission to put some work in. So what does that mean? You can be customized. You can be a customized firm. You can be more high end, high touch, hands-on with your clients. give them more concierge service, and charge a premium price. I'm giving you permission to do that. And it's okay. It may not be the it thing right now because everybody's trying to do the least amount of work for the greatest amount of money. But you can do that. You can be behind the scenes. You don't have to be out here spamming everybody on social media, working with everybody for a small price. You can be more behind the scenes and do more high-end, high-touch, more customized, maybe a little bit more hand-holding. But the thing is, as you start to charge more premium prices and work with a higher level of clientele, you'll find that those clients, they let you do your job. Imagine that. I want you guys to sit there and really think about that, because I know my audience well. Like, I speak to a lot of designers, right? And I've been there. I've been the designer that dealt with the clients that don't let you do your job. Because they don't really have they don't really trust you to do your job without a bunch of hand holding and micromanaging. And two, they have the time to micromanage and not let you do your job. A lot of times they don't even really know what they want. But as you start to elevate your value, your clientele, your prices and all of that, you'll find that those high level clients, they just want to pay somebody who's the best. They're at the top of their craft and they want to work with people who are at the top of their craft. And if that's you, if you market yourself that way, if you position yourself that way, they can be like, boom, that's you, bet. Let's work. What do you need from me? You know what I'm saying? Like, what do I pay? Let's make it happen. We got to have a meeting, strategy, whatever. Let's do it. They let you do your job. And it's a beautiful thing. It is a beautiful thing because they're in their lane of brilliance. They're in their zone of genius. So they don't have time to be micromanaging. That's why they paying the best. You know what I'm saying? That's why they pay the fees, because they want to work. And that's just how they're wired. That's the frequency that they're on anyway. So it's not just with you. It's with everybody they work with. They're willing to go ahead and pay to work with the best. All right. So I recommend you go from that productized thinking like, oh, what type of little products can I offer? Go ahead and get your customized situation together first. Go ahead and get to that 10K, that 20K, that 30K a month first. And then think about what kind of little productized things you can offer. But with me, and I may be different, okay? And this is just my experience, my opinion, my philosophy. So use this as a guide, not gospel, okay? But I can't think both. That's why, I've kind of been dragging my feet going fully into the coaching, because I'm like I'm like laser focused on what I'm doing. So I'm either all in with my clients or I'm all in on coaching, right? So even with the productized versus customized, I'm like, I'm either going to be all productized or I'm going to be all customized. Why? Because when you're laser focused and you're zoned in on one area, you can shoot past the competition and become that much more proficient and effective in that thing, whatever that thing is, because you're not doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that, couple little products here, and then you got your more customized stuff. Especially when you're a one man, one woman band, you got a smaller team. If you have a team, it's different. If you're already at the 20 to 30K, you kind of got things figured out, at least at that level. But when you're not, if you're not even making six figures, you got to focus. And I talked about that. That's martial law number 1, right? Stop doing the most. So I'm not going to beat that horse today, but you get where I'm going. I recommend going from that productized mindset, that low cost, high volume mindset, to more customized, more high end, more high touch, more hands on. All right. So cool. Let me just check in, because I know that was a lot to get things kicked off. Alansha, what is good? Great to see you. Great to see you. The family is in the building. Cool. All right, y'all. So we will hear more about your launch on Monday. Yes. Look, you and the fam. So you already know. You already know what is good. Okay, cool. So y'all with me so far? And if you haven't already, please hit the like button on YouTube if you're watching on YouTube. I appreciate it. Cool. All right, y'all. So we're gonna get into the next thing. So that is talking about AI, Canva, Fiverr, just to tie a bow on it. You want to look at that stuff as not like obstacles, but like chances for us to evolve as designers. Because of Fiverr, Canva, things like AI, it makes high level, high value designers that much more valuable. Our minds that much more valuable, and our skill set that much more valuable. Because your average business owner, especially a high paying high paying client, they're not gonna be fiddling around with AI. You know what I'm saying? AI is cool. All of the computer generated, the AI generated Images we're seeing, the artwork is beautiful, right? It's a great time for innovation. So, but you don't want to look at that as a negative, because a high paying client who's got a business to run and they, making 7, 8, 9 figures, they're not gonna be fiddling around with AI. That's stuff that we're into, and that's stuff with the stuff that the lower level business owners, say six figures or whatever, maybe even less, are gonna be fiddling with, because they got the time to do that. But us as designers, we have the time to do that, so we can do that for our clients. Say, hey, look, we'll do X, Y, and Z. We can get X, Y, and Z done. If the AI is one of your tools in your toolbox, then you use it. You know what I'm saying? So you don't want to look at that stuff as competitors. We are far from obsolete. At least high value designers, we're far from obsolete. But on the flip side, and this is what I wanted to get into, if you don't elevate, if you don't identify, and this is something that I talk about too, you have to identify as a high value designer if that's what you want to do. If you're on this stream, if you're familiar with me, that's kind of what I preach. And I'm gonna keep it 100% real with y'all. And if you're in my group, you already know how I feel. I'm not that crazy about design. It may be controversial. Your average designer is not gonna tell you that. It's a gift that I've been blessed with, and I've been obedient with it, and I've been able to feed my family well with it. But if somebody asked me, what would you be doing if you had all the money in the world? It wouldn't be waking up and doing graphic design. I don't dislike it. I enjoy it most of the time. But it's not something that I'm just like, oh, I just can't wait to design today. No, it's my job. I'm good at it, and I do it well, and I got a family to feed. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have to love it. You have to love it, but you can still have success. You can still have success in this space. So I'm telling you that. Why am I telling you that? Right? Several reasons, but I kind of come from it from, it's not just like, oh, it was my passion, and you find your passion and the money will come. I'm not on that. You know what I'm saying? I'm moving into a place where, okay, design is leading me to my passion, which is the content creation, which is putting other designers on game, training, really coaching, listening to other designers and helping them improve their businesses, and then seeing the results, seeing the fruits of the labor, seeing the transformation. I love that. I could do that all day, every day for no money. So why am I telling you this? Because you can still have success. You can still have success in this space, and you have to be in love with it. So I everything I'm telling you, I don't want to sound like it's, money motivated, but that's why I got into this. My wife is the one that pushed me into this space. She was like, look, you should try this. I gave her every excuse in the book. If you know my story, you've heard it a million times. I was like, no, I can't do that. I can't feed my family with that. I Googled the average salary was like 45K. I was like, I can't do it. But I did it, started making some money. And next thing you know, I was like, okay, this is a real thing. But I started it because it started for monetary reason. I started for financial gain. I did. You know what I'm saying? So of course over the years, I started to really enjoy it, and, have some projects I'm really proud of and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's my job. Like, think about everybody everybody you come into contact with. Think about the president, whoever. Everybody who's in top positions in their industry may not be fully all in love with it. Like, oh, I just can't wait to wake up and run the country. It may be annoying sometimes, it may be frustrating, but that's what they chose to do, and they're going to do their job do their job to the best of their ability. All right. So I just wanted to be transparent with y'all. I mean, if you're in my group, you already know how I feel about it. I don't dislike design, but it's my job. It's my job. Okay. So I'm saying that to say I got into it for monetary reasons. So I kind of come from that. Like, all right, well, I have certain goals I want to hit. Say I want to make 6 figures, in it. So what do I have to do? I kind of reverse engineer my way to that. So it kind of forced me to operate a certain way, where if I was just doing it willy-nilly or just because I loved it, I may not have had the same results revenue-wise. All right. So that's all I'm trying to say. That's all I'm trying to say. Keith, what's good, my brother? What is good? Good to see you. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it real. Like that's something that you're gonna get from me. I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you ain't good to go, you already know how I get down. Like, y'all know this. I've been talking about that for about a year. Sometimes I'll tell my wife, like, babe, look, I think I'm falling in love with design. I did X, Y, and Z, and I was really into it. That doesn't happen at all. I'll wake up, I do my thing, but it's my job. Okay, it's my job. All right, y'all. Okay. Lewis, what's good, my brother? Great to see you. Cool. Thanks for checking in. Please hit the like button if you're on YouTube. I appreciate it. Please subscribe as well. All right, cool. All right, here's a myth that I want to bust real quick, because I know a lot of designers. So just because you're really good at design doesn't mean you'll succeed. All right. It does not mean you'll succeed. Why is that? Because only a small part of success, at least in my experience and stuff that I've seen, success in the graphic design space is due to your skill. And I talk about this. It seems like every conversation that I have with designers every week, I know designers who can design circles around me. Just amazing. Absolutely phenomenal. Phenomenal. I got just example. I got examples on examples, but even this week, I came across a designer. I was like, yo, she's my favorite flyer designer in the history of flyer design. Like, she's a beast. But I already knew. I was like, all right, she probably not charging that much. I think I found it. She was like charging like $70 per flyer. I'm like, man, you don't want to generalize, but you kind of know. And it's a whole game to it, y'all. Like, you can kind of go on somebody's site. You can see how they move on social media. You can tell how much people are making a lot of the times just by how they move, how they operate, what they post and stuff like that. It's weird, but you can. You know what I'm saying? So I can kind of, you don't want to make assumptions, but you can kind of tell with, especially with designers, what they post and stuff, how often they post, the type of stuff that they post, how much money they making. So I already kind of had in my head, I guess, because I talked to hundreds of designers and kind of have seen the data. I was like, as talented as she is, and I could see this stuff all the time. I was like, she probably not making that much money. She's probably not charging that much. And that may not even be her goal, y'all. That may not even be her goal, but now that y'all know it was my goal, y'all know the lens that I have, okay? So I'm like, man. And then it's so many other examples I can show as well, like designers who are just beasts, but then they struggling. You know, they've confided with, you know, in me and told me that. Like, they just don't have, they're struggling. People getting out of the business right now. They are leaving the business and they are phenomenally talented. So what am I saying? Your actual skill is a small, very small part of success in this business. It may be like 20%, okay? The other 80%, you got to actually fall in love with the business of design. Like, you have to get the business side of things down. You have to get design skills, a small part. You got to get the business. So what is that? That's like having like your business in order, your process, your actual service, how you serve your clientele, you know, your SOPs, all of that. You got to have that stuff. Then you really have to fall in love with it. And us as like right brain creatives, we tend to put that stuff on the back burner and ignore it to the detriment of our business. So a lot of times, like, we could be so close to going out of business, be phenomenally talented, but be so close to going out of business because we don't have our business in order. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not using, we're not doing our bookkeeping right. We're not using it. If you don't use an accountant, like, you may not even be tracking your expenses and stuff like that. And the thing is, y'all, our business is like almost all profit. People don't want to admit that. That's why I'm like, bro, this is one of the best industries to be in right now because it's pretty much all profit. You know, we got our software that we use. We get our computer every now and then. And if you're not upgrading all the time, you just paying for your software. You know, some books here and there, maybe go to a couple conferences, but it's like almost straight profit. So it's just just a great place to be. Let me just check in again. Yep. Not having your business in order. Yeah, if you could just hit the link in the description, we'll be able to see your name right now. You just coming up as Facebook user. Blaze is great. It's great to see. Yep. Pricing is a part of your branding. Yeah, I could talk about price for days, but yeah, it's so much information containing your price. You know, it says a lot about you, and I'm almost quoting Blair Enns. If you guys aren't familiar with Blair Enns, look up Blair Enns. It's Blair, BLAIR. ENNS is his last name, Blair Enns. He wrote the Win Without Pitching manifesto, but he's like the GOAT to GOAT. If you guys are familiar with Chris Do, he's like one of Chris's mentors. And yeah, he's just a beast. But you know, he says like it's so much information containing your price. And also Marcus Rosier, shout out to Marcus Rosier. He said pricing is a form of marketing, but when you set your pricing a certain way, people will look at you. Just like I can look at designers who set their prices low. I could tell they don't have confidence in themselves. They don't have the confidence in their ability to deliver high value outcomes to their clients, and kind of tell like they can't be making more than 50, 60K a year. So it says a lot about you and your confidence and how you're in demand, how much you're in demand as well. Because when your prices are higher, a lot of times we set our prices higher to try to curb some of that demand as well. So you have to keep that in mind as well, like when you're pricing your services as well. But yeah. All right, y'all. So let me get into the next topic. Yeah, so small part of success as a graphic designer is your actual skill, and a big part of it is the business of design. Um, and getting high paying clients. And a lot of people ask me, "Look, how you get high paying clients?" It's just the outcome of the system. It's the outcome of having your business in order and then just serving at a high level over and over and over and over, and starting to increase your prices as you become more in demand. But y'all check out the Win Without Pitching Manifesto by Blair Enns. That's like required reading. It's in my top 5 books for graphic designers. Maybe number 1 if I had to rank them, but I don't like to rank them. The Win Without Pitching Manifesto by Blair Enns. Check that book out as well. Also, I have a couple notes I wrote down. So very few battles are won under ideal circumstances. You got to simulate and practice the unknown so that the unexpected will not derail. You have to master the unknown. So you got to stay ready. So you have to get ready. So what does that mean? You can't wait for the perfect circumstances to get your business order. You got to do it now. You got to get ready. You have to assume that something devastating is going to happen or you're going to be out of business. So you guys, if you tuned in to the first couple episodes, you heard me tell you guys about the story of the project, the $15,000 project that I did at the end of 2019 for free, absolutely free. I didn't have the time to do it, but I was like, I'm bullying my way into a higher frequency. I want to work with a higher level of clientele. So this is what I'm going to do. So, I reached out to somebody who I knew that was at a higher level. And I knew that they were well respected, well liked, and they had a great network. And I made a proposal. I was like, look, what if I do, the whole shebang for you, a complete rebrand? We do a strategy session, and you come out here, we film it, so I can use it for promotion. We do a whole case study. If I do a phenomenal job, I just ask that you, some people my way. Maybe if people ask you who did your site, you let them know it was me. And I executed that to a T. It was difficult. It was time consuming. It was frustrating at times, but I had my eye on the end goal. And then what happened? The pandemic happened, but I had that in my bag. As all these new millionaires were being created, and they were higher level, higher paying clients all of a sudden. And it's people that were already at that level, but they were like, okay, I need a higher level designer. I got larger design needs. I got larger design problems. I want to work with somebody who's more premium price, who's the best out here, and then look, me just having a higher price and being laser focused on who I serve and just having a couple core offers. That's another thing, yo. A lot of designers, you have way too many offers, but I don't want to get into that. I don't want to get off into a tangent because I'm famous for doing that. But that's what allowed my business to explode. It allowed my business to double, to do multiple 6 figures for a couple years straight during the pandemic when a lot of designers' businesses shriveled up because I stayed ready so I didn't have to get ready. Okay. So had I just been twiddling my thumbs and just been comfortable, even though I'm probably guilty of that since then, but I wouldn't have been ready for the pandemic. I could have been put out of business, y'all. So you got to act, you got to operate, you got to get up every day and operate like, okay, what if something devastating was going to happen? What if all my existing clients were wiped out and I only had to work with higher level clients? What would I do? What would I do right now? How would I operate? What types of services would I offer? What type of, what type of value would I be looking to add to my clients? All right. So think about stuff like that. Okay. All right, y'all. Yeah, you have to, because like I mentioned last week before, you gotta level up right now, or you may get put out of business. It's as simple as that because of this recession. So if you used to working with lower paying clients, they're gonna be looking for lower cost alternatives. I'm seeing it happen. Like somebody on the stream right now who came to me with a situation he was dealing with where a client came and essentially was expecting him to outbid another designer who they were working with, that they had been working with, but they wanted essentially a better product for a cheaper rate, and expecting him to lower his rate to beat out this other designer. So it's stuff like that. Like, you just don't want to get stuck at the bottom competing on price. It's not a good place to be. It's uncomfortable. And then it's almost like like Gladiator or something, you know what I'm saying? Like, all designers are a fight for scraps. These lower paying clients, where if you just position yourself differently, you were niched down, you're laser focused, then you can kind of separate yourself from the pack fairly easily, because like I mentioned over and over, there are more high level, high paying clients out here that are being created. It's like a growth curve where it's more of them being created than high level designers to serve them. So it's like a state of emergency out here, y'all. Okay. So we got any questions so far? Let me jump in here. Cool. All right, y'all. We still got 28 people on here. So I got one major nugget to drop outside of what we already kind of talked about, and it's how to get clients with no experience. So I already kind of talked about it, to be honest. It's exactly what I did at the end of 2019. So I call it the freelance formula, or the Fox freelance formula. But you want to do something for free or discounted strategically, though. That's the key. Strategically, for somebody, and it has to be somebody who you know of. They know of you, not just like a random person. Because that's just how it works. It's easier to do it that way. Somebody that you know of, that's maybe on a higher level. They know of you. They know of your, like, what you can do, your skill set. So it won't take a whole bunch of convincing. It would have to be like a no-brainer to them, and for you too. You just don't fall victim to those people that are like, hey, we don't have a budget, but we have a large following. Can you do this for exposure? No, don't fall into that trap. That never works out. You have to be the one that's proactive to seek them out and then make the offer to them, not vice versa. So don't get me confused when I tell you like to do something for free or discounted. But you can rinse and repeat and do this every time. So why do you do that? It's self-explanatory. I forget. I think Chris or somebody calls it something else. I forget what he calls it, like the trade up. I don't know. But the point is, you want to do some free or discounted in exchange for four things. So number one is a dope portfolio piece, something to put in your portfolio that you can show off. Of course, you want it to be more all-encompassing, not like a flyer or something like that. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect to the flyer designers, but like something more all-encompassing, like a rebrand, with a website. That would be cool as well, but where you can show a more complete transformation for a client. That's the main goal. So a prospective client will come to your site and be like, wow, that's what you did. You can do that. Sign me up, right? So you want, number one, a dope portfolio piece. Two, you want referrals. You want referrals from this client. So you want, you want them to connect you with others, or let people know about you. And this has worked for me several times. I'm telling you from experience, and it's worked for other people as well. You also want a great review, testimonial, preferably a video testimonial if that's possible. And you also want to turn that free or discounted client into a paid client. So you want them to come back to you. So you want to do a phenomenal job enough where they be like, yo, you're my guy, or you're my girl. Like, we're going to be rocking with each other, whether it's a retainer situation, or if they just come back to you on an a la carte basis for stuff that they need. You want to turn them into a paid client. You almost have to make them into a believer. But if they decide to work with you at this level already, even though it's for free or discounted, they already believe in you anyway. You know what I'm saying? So, but it works because it's the law of reciprocity. When you do all this work for them, especially if it's a higher level project, like in my case, it was like $15,000. If I was to charge an external client, it was worth $15,000 at that time. So they felt like they owed me, but not in a bad way. They were like willing and motivated to sing my praises and tell everybody about me. You know what I'm saying? And they did that like in a way that I could have never even imagined. And the return was exponential. I got my first $20,000 client from doing that $15,000 client for free, right? And then that led to the next one, and then the next one, and the next one. Okay, so, and that, I did the same exact thing when I first got started in graphic design. I did the logo for YB for free, and that just blew up the business from the jump. Did like, maybe 18K, I think, in like 2 months. And that was when I first got started with no experience. So I just saying that to show you the power of doing that strategically. Okay. When I reached out to YB, I knew he was well respected within the community that we were in. People had his ear, you know what I'm saying? I knew he was a great promoter as well. Like he would be able to share his experience, and it was great. Like people ask him like, bro, how much you pay for that? How much he charged? He was like, I can't tell you, but just know it's worth every penny, or something like that. He says, I'm like, yo, that's genius. He's worth every penny. Cool. Yeah. So that's called the freelance formula. So doing something for free or discounted strategically for the right person, somebody that you seek out in exchange for the dope portfolio piece, review, a testimonial, repeat business, and referrals, right? Yeah, that's the four. Referrals. So dope portfolio piece, referrals, repeat business, and a review, a testimonial. All right. So we got any questions? Look at me, DeAndre. What is good, my brother? I ain't talked to you in a minute. How do we present ourselves differently? Yeah, I can get into that. Somebody I'm a little late on how to design the positive versus downfall solutions like AI impact. Bet. Yo, I'll answer these couple questions. So Christina, what is good? So present ourselves differently. So in your case, I think we may have talked about this a little bit, but where you are right now, and I know you've worked with enough clients. So my whole thing is like you got to work with enough clients to get a large enough data sample to figure out who it is that you enjoy working with the most out of the clients that you work with, who really values what you do, and then who has the means to pay you what you're worth, right? So the number one is really key, because if you got clients that are paying you with no problems, they value what you do, but you don't really like working with them, that's going to lead to resentment, being annoyed, because you're going to reach a point where the money's taken care of. You're not even going to be worrying about money. You know what I'm saying? So then you'll reach a point where it's more about the enjoyment. It reminds me of Alex Hormozy. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him, but this man, he's, millions and millions of dollars. He's at the point where it's like he reached the pinnacle where it's like, all right, I got all this money. Now it's like, now what? Like, I don't really have a need for it. You know what I'm saying? It's like he reached the goal, but now it's like, what else is there? So that's why he's like moving the way he's moving right now. But you're gonna reach a point where the money is not it. It's not gonna be an issue. Your needs are gonna be met. You're gonna be able to do what you want to do. So then it's gonna come down to, okay, do I really enjoy what I do every day? So if you're working with clients you don't really like working with, even though you're getting paid, that's gonna be annoying. So you would rather work with clients you enjoy working with first and foremost. So who do you enjoy working with the most? Who values what you do? Who has the means to pay you what you work? So you have to get more selective, Christina. You got to get more selective on who you work with. And I think that'll really help your business, just niching down, because right now you're not really looked at as meaningfully different than anybody else. Like I remember looking at your site, it's like nothing really different about you than the next guy, serving all different kinds of folks, doing generally what everybody else does. I think you got a little extra stuff like making sure stuff is ADA compliant, GDPR, whatever, compliant and all of that. But that's not going to get somebody to sign up with you over somebody else, right? So what would I do if I were you? I would get a lot more selective about who I work with. So I would start with my existing client base and go through them and kind of make a list and put people into different categories. Like, okay, the dog walkers or the real estate agents or the beauty brands, and kind of go through them and say, okay, out of these groups of folks that I work with, who I enjoy working with the most, who values what I do, meaning like they let me do my job. They really trust me as an expert in my expertise as a more high value consultant and advisor, as opposed to the grunt worker, the order taker, like a lot of designers are looked at, like as commodities. You don't want to be looked at like that. Like, who values my expertise and my opinion? And then who has the means to pay me what I want to charge? If I want to charge a 10K for whatever deliverables, who can pay that without batting an eyelash? Who are the types of clients that was able to take care of that invoice without running you through a whole bunch of hoops? You know what I'm saying? So think about that, and then start to tweak your website and your marketing to speak to that type of person, and you'll see your business explode. And I think you may have been on one of the lives in the group where I talked about, I got on Instagram. In his bio, he had like 200 followers, but he said, hey, I create high performing reels for coaches. That got my eye. That caught my attention more so than somebody else who may have said, hey, look, I create reels for anybody. But because he said, I create high performing reels for coaches, all I need is a little evidence, a little bit of social proof, and we can do business. You know what I'm saying? If I'm in the market for that. But that's just an example of somebody that doesn't have a bunch of followers, but if he has the proof that one, he already got my attention because he says I serve coaches. You know what I'm saying? And two, if he can show me a little proof, if I go on his website and see what I need to see, we can do business. You know what I'm saying? Because I already know, as somebody with not a lot of followers, it's not about the amount of followers that you have. That's negligible in a lot of cases. A lot of times it's just as simple as cutting through the clutter. I shared the example over and over about early on when I got started, because I said I serve speakers. When I was tagged on Facebook posts with 40 other designers, I was the one that was often contacted and got the business because I say I serve speakers when everybody else serves everybody. You see what I'm saying? So I don't want to beat the horse, but you get what I'm saying. All right, Alonsha, how do you adopt the perspective of seeing the positive versus downfall solutions like AI and the impact on the industry? It's probably just me, and Alonsha, you know this about me. I'm all positive vibes. You got to look at the positive. You got to look at things from a positive perspective, and just make a decision that you're not going to be negative about anything, because like we live in the greatest time in human history, right? We're able to sit at home, clicking around on our laptops and make money. So it's a privilege and it's an honor. It's a privilege and an honor to be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? So you have to have a certain level of respect and reverence for what you do on a day-to-day basis. And I think that's something that I failed to mention earlier. Like, design may not be necessarily a passion or something. I'm like, oh, I just absolutely love design. But I have a certain level of respect and reverence for it because of people that came before me, the people who are actually trained in it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them, not even revenue-wise, doing what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you got to have a certain level of respect for the craft. Like, wow, I was able to come in and, not even have formal education and make a great living. You know what I'm saying? So you got to look at it from that perspective. And then, like I said earlier, don't look at it as an obstacle. Look at it as a chance for us to evolve. Like, I like being challenged. You know what I'm saying? Like I mentioned the designer I mentioned earlier, who I was like, yo, she's my favorite flyer designer. It forced me to step my game up. I was like, I need my stuff to look like that. You know what I'm saying? So I actually worked on some stuff for a client right after seeing our stuff. I wasn't copying it, but it just kind of forced me to just think things through a little more thoroughly. And I told y'all, skills is a small part. You know what I'm saying? It's a small part. And my client was in love with it. You know what I'm saying? So don't look at it as an obstacle. Look at it for a chance. Look at it as a chance for us to evolve and think, okay, how can I incorporate this into my workflow? Or how can I just become more aware and educated on this new platform? And like I said, higher level clients, higher paying clients, they're not gonna be fiddling with AI. I'm telling you. You know what I'm saying? Unless they're in that space. But just think across industries as a whole. And unless, because there's so many nuances to it, y'all, in this space. That's why I love it, because it's like we can get in where we fit in so many different avenues. Because you have your high level clients, they have designers on staff. You know what I'm saying? They have designers on staff already, so we're not competing with them. You know what I'm saying? So it's a good segment of folks that either have smallish, let's say 7, 8, 9-figure businesses, or let's say 7, 8. I won't say 9. Those are still small businesses that we can serve and make a great living. You know what I'm saying? So think about those guys. They're not fiddling with AI. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's a beer brewery, like I said, real estate agents, brokers, beauty brands, a lot of different industries. We can serve them. They not be fiddling with AI. I don't have time for that. Say they're in the thick of it. Think about the types of businesses that you see go on Shark Tank. I don't know if they have that in the Bahamas, Alansha, but they should check out Shark Tank. Those type of businesses, those are the types of clients that need us. All right, that need us. They'll have the 20 to 30 to 40K to spend on some good branding, website, etc. Okay, so they not be fiddling around with AI. You know, they're running their business. They're putting together their pitches. You know what I'm saying? They're figuring stuff out. They're making money, and a lot of you gotta think about the potential. That's why you gotta be growth minded. Think about all of the folks that are at the 6 figures, the mid 6 figures, and they getting ready to break through to the 7. You want to be in the position to serve them, right? You want to be in the position to serve them. Like even myself, I was still able to do over 6 figures per year, not even serving 7-figure clients yet, because I decided to position myself as more of a premium service provider, where my clients, when they came to me, it was a bit of a stretch. It was a bit of a stretch for them to work with me, but I pretty much had like high level outcomes for them. You know what I'm saying? Create a quality product, but they were satisfied with the outcome as well. So not you don't have to think about it like every client that comes to you has to be able to just drop the bread with no issue. Sometimes it's going to be a stretch for them, and that's not a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? Think about stuff that you really want that you figure out how to go get the money for. Okay? So when you think about it, you know what I'm saying? Even the phones a lot of us had, they like $1,200, $1,300. You know what I'm saying? When you think about it, oh, I can't afford that. Like, you really can if you wanted to. You see what I'm saying? So it's a whole segment of clients out there that you could serve, that if you position yourself a certain way, that they'll spend the bread. And I know because you had that. I don't want to put your business out there, but you had that that high 4-figure project recently. So yeah, but don't have a negative perspective on anything, because what we do is an honor, it's a privilege, and it's just a way for us to evolve as designers to become that much more valuable. So we want to look at it as a challenge. Like, okay, I'm not competing with Fiverr. That's going to be irrelevant. Think about it like that. So how do you make Fiverr irrelevant? All right. How do you make your average other designers you may be competing with irrelevant? Right. It's a lot of ways to do that. Okay. All right. How do you work with various clients and schedule deadlines that don't overlap? You're going to have some overlap, Royal, but you already know the issue, bro. And we talked about this before, even in our one-on-one. You got to increase your prices. You got to get clear on your packages and increase your prices to curb the demand. Because you're like myself a few years ago where I was in demand and I was taking everything. I didn't want to say no because it's part of my personality. And I was afraid the bubble was going to burst. So I'm like, oh, what if the demand just dies down out of nowhere? And it's a level of fear there. Like if I said no, then my business is going to dry up. When it's the opposite, you start saying no, you start increasing your prices. You're like, whoa, these people still paying it. And the ones that don't, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? So you got to start to increase your prices to curb some of that demand. And then you'll reach a point where you just got to say no. You may want to plug them in with somebody else, or you may want to push them back and say, look, I'm not available for another month. That's where I'm at right now. And I've been at that point for a while. So you can charge an expedited fee. You gotta let them know, man. Like, cause if they're doing that, that's what they're used to from you. They know, look, I'm gonna send this to Roy last minute. He gonna get it done. If you want to be that guy, charge accordingly. Double, triple your rates, whatever it is, and then add an expedited fee on top of it. They'll either start sending you stuff early enough, or they'll pay that fee. Those are the types of things that you do to maintain your control and integrity and power as a designer. Is by either making them get in line or charge them accordingly, and don't be apologetic about it. The thing is, bro, we're charging pennies. You definitely charging pennies. I go put your business out there. We talked about this and joked about this in the group, but even I'm charging pennies. I know it's probably some designers and people watching this like, bro, he think he doing some of them little 20K projects. I know. Even I'm charging pennies, y'all. So I know you charging pennies, Roy. So you should not be apologetic about increasing your rates to curb demand. That's just a natural part of business. Okay. Because when you increase your prices, like I said, and I got this right from Blair Ends, it says a lot about how much you're in demand, what your capacity is, what your confidence is. So being as though your prices are still low, you're still accepting projects, it tells the client, especially prospective clients who may be considering working with you, that you're not confident in yourself because you will be charging more. And then you don't really have your stuff together because you would be putting the brakes on people. And I gave this example. I think I shared this before. I had a client that was like, look, I want to get some branding done by the end of the month. I was like, I ain't gonna be able to do it. I probably could have squeezed it in, but I didn't feel like it. So I was like, I can connect you with somebody. She was like, all right, cool. And then she came back and was like, you know what? I'll wait. So had I accepted it and squeezed it in, she would have had the power. You know what I'm saying? And then she would have expected stuff like that from me going forward. But being as though I didn't, she still came back, and now I had the power. It's like, all right, bet, I made you wait. You know what I'm saying? It's not an arrogant thing, anything, but you gotta kind of train people how to do business with you. And higher level clients, they respect that because they on the same frequency. Higher paying clients, they on the same frequency. They do the same thing. They operate at that high level too. So it kind of puts you closer to their level than what they're used to dealing with, which is lower level designers who commodities and they just doing anything, everything for everybody. Throw them a couple $50, $100 here and there real quick. Hey, I'm gonna throw Royal this $100 real quick the day before, he'll get it done. No. You rather miss out on the business, and sometimes you will, and it's okay. But being as though you're charging more, it'll make up for that. More than make up for that. Okay. Creative Space TV, what is good? Hopefully that helps. So much potential. The ground is fertile, y'all. The sad thing is, look, y'all, we got 37 people on here right now. I don't have a ton of followers and stuff. The sad thing is, y'all. And shout out to the Future and Chris and them, because they have a large audience. A lot of designers going to be put out of business because a lot of them aren't going to get this information. They're not going to get the memo. Like, you got to level up now and get put out of business because you are going to, a lot of designers are going to lose the AI. They are going to lose the Fiverr. They are going to lose the Canva. The low paying clients doing it themselves. I don't even really consider them clients. You know what I'm saying? Trying to do it themselves. A lot of new designers getting into space. A lot of them are going to lose. They're not going to be able to see the potential in this space and realize, okay, I just got to level up. And it's not even that hard. Really focus on your craft. Focus on your skill. You use Illustrator. I'm talking to black designers. Might be provocative, controversial. Learn Illustrator, y'all. Stop doing logos in Photoshop. Stop it. Just stop it. Stop it. Go learn Illustrator. It's not that hard. And look, I probably use maybe 10% of Illustrator's potential, but I know it's an industry standard and I'm able to create a higher quality product um in Illustrator because that's the standard. And that you use that to design vector graphics. And Photoshop is for raster. It's for photos, y'all. Stop doing logos in Photoshop. So I'm saying that to say it's not that hard to become a high level designer. You got to position yourself a certain way. Use Illustrator for your logos. Refine your offerings. Focus in on who you're serving. Stop jumping from project to project and being so frazzled, overwhelmed, and stressed where you can't even really think about the offerings to provide to your clients. Like you can't even you just stuck. You're on a hamster wheel, frustrated because you're dealing with low paying clients over and over. You're posting that work, you get more low paying clients with high demands, not making enough, barely making ends meet. You're frustrated. You're not enjoying what you're doing at all. You know what I'm saying? So you have to, like I mentioned all the time, you got to bully your way into a higher frequency. You have to say, look, I'm not doing that anymore. I'd rather starve than accept another one of those type of clients or another one of those type of projects. I'm gonna go ahead and double my rate and see what happens. That's the type of stuff that will get you to that higher frequency. And it's not even as hard as you think. You gotta do things that other designers aren't doing, like communicate. It's easy, y'all. Communicate with your clients, even if it's uncomfortable. Take ownership. Don't pass the blame. Right? Be willing to go that extra mile for the client. Of course, we don't want to get raked over the coals. We want to keep scope creep in mind. We don't want to do 1,000 revisions and stuff like that. But have your stuff clearly defined. Like, look, you get X amount of revisions. Have that in place to protect yourself. But if it calls for, if you miss the mark on some concepts, and I'm dealing with this right now, say, look, I'm gonna make sure you're 120% satisfied when you leave with me, flat out. I'm gonna get it right and be serious about that and get it right. That's the type of stuff that clients will remember. You know what I'm saying? So I had a client that, she was like, oh, I'll share this with so-and-so, so-and-so. It's not really, and it's my fault because I didn't do a good enough job on the discovery and strategy and all of that to avoid that. So she was like, look, I don't want to hold your money. I'm going to still pay you the balance right now I'm like, nah, hold that till I get this right. I'm going to get it right. You know what I'm saying? So like you got to have that energy because the clients will feel that, and that's the type of stuff that'll keep you in business. I'm telling y'all this from experience. The ground is fertile, okay? The ground is fertile. I got DMs, y'all. I got to get better. Mad requests I haven't even responded to. People ready to do work right now. I got to get to them, but I've been busy working on something I'm dropping on Monday. The ground is fertile. That's what I'm saying. The ground is super fertile, super fertile. And the thing is, the average designer, I don't want to say I'm average, but somebody like me can make a killing and have people lined up to do business. Also, grab Oversubscribed by Daniel Priestley, y'all. That's another one. I was going to save that one, but I'll let y'all have that one since y'all still rock with me to this at the end of this session. Oversubscribed by Daniel Priestley. That's going to change your life. But people lined up to do business with me. To this day. Why? For just simple things, y'all. Just simple things. Being intentional about how I show up on a daily basis. How I show up to you guys. How I show up to my clients. Something as simple as sending a Loom video to a prospective client. Hey, thank you so much for reaching out. I appreciate that. Barbara. My name is Marshall. Just want to introduce myself to you. Thank you so much. I sincerely appreciate you reaching out. This is a little bit about what I do. Blah blah blah. This is my offers, my fees. If this sounds great, you think you may be a fit for you. Let's go ahead and schedule a call. Blah blah blah. I just want to introduce myself. Nice to meet you. Something as simple as that. Y'all send a quick Loom video. Look halfway decent. Get your lighting together. I'm not saying you got to get a big old expensive camera, but look like you do this full time and you take it serious. Okay. Not like you just plop down and the stuff is all blurry, bad lighting. People can't get you on the Zoom. They can't get you on the phone. You got to do everything by email. That's cool. You got to set your boundaries. I get it. But do something a little different than your average low-paid designer is doing, okay? That's what's going to separate you. And people will be like, oh, I'm not expecting that. I remember at the time, y'all, I'm telling you this. I could even say her name. She probably wouldn't care. Janai Thornton, y'all. One of my first high-paying clients. At the time, I think the project was like $8,000 or $9,000 at the time. That was a high-paying client for me. I think that was the largest. Man, I get emotional thinking about it. I sent her a Loom video. I probably still have it in my account to this day, doing exactly what I just told you. She was so impressed. I was like, it wasn't even that big of a deal to me. She's like, oh, you know what? That was such a nice personal touch. Thank you. I might start doing that with my clients. Mind you, this is a 7-8 figure client. Her business is straight, but to impress somebody like that with a simple Loom video, what does that mean? They're not used to simple little personal touches like that. You see what I'm saying? So one, she was impressed. Two, that's an icebreaker. When we do hop on an actual Zoom together, it's like we already know each other because I done showed up like this in her inbox with a smile. You know what I'm saying? So, and that was like a life-changing project at the time. I was like, wow. Like my wife was like, babe, look, I got it. She looked at me like, wow, that's dope. That's amazing. You know what I'm saying? So just show up a little bit differently. Be a little bit more intentional about how you show up. You know, you got to assume the identity as a high-level service provider. Okay? Just assume that identity right now. You have to wait till you hit 6 figures to do it. You don't. One of those $8,000 projects above, that's 6 figures right there. You know what I'm saying? So, I'll get off my soapbox. I know I'm rambling. Yes. Yeah, if you guys could hit the like button if you're on YouTube, I appreciate that. Subscribe if you can. Wow, it's a lot of people on here. Jonathan, what is good, my brother? Shaboobs, what is good? What's good? A lot of familiar faces. Leah, what is good? Cool. That face, I just want to hear more about the business side. Yo, that's cool. It's cool. Blaze, what is up? Cool. Recommend working for an agency to see how they work. Also work on work you create there can help you create. Yeah, that's a good tip. Thanks for sharing that. I can't speak on that at all. I can't. So, but yeah, that's a good tip. Missy, yes. Shout out to Missy Freeman. Very proud. Look, y'all rocking with me. I'll give y'all my top five. Okay. Win Without Pitching. The Win Without Pitching Manifesto by Blair Enns. I say that with a smile. It's a phenomenal book. That's number one. Okay. I wish I had a moderator to drop them. Michelle, what's good? Good to see you. But we're talking about books. The Win Without Pitching Manifesto by Blair Enns. Grab that book. We got Pocket Full of Dough by Chris Doe. We got Burn Your Portfolio. Stuff They Don't Teach in Design School But Should by Michael Janda. We have Creative Strategy and the Business of Design by Douglas Davis, who's Black. When I found that out, I almost cried. I'm like, wow, that's amazing. I know people like me at a high level in this space, let alone writing books. But I was ignorant, but still, it was really inspiring when I found that out because I knew about the book and I wanted to get the book for a while before I realized, before I got it and started. I was like, oh, hold up, Douglas Davis is a Black man. It's really inspiring. But anyway, so we got that's 4, and then we have Oversubscribed by Daniel Priestley. Right. So we got Win Without Pitching Manifesto by Blair Enns. Somebody could type it in the chat. Stories of Trials and Tribulations. Facts. Yeah, so Win Without Pitching Manifesto by Blair Enns. Burn Your Portfolio. Stuff They Don't Teach in Design School But Should. That's one name. It's like the title, subtitle. Burn Your Portfolio by Michael Janda. So Burn Your Portfolio, Stuff They Don't Teach in Design School But Should by Michael Janda. I love that book. Pocket Full of Dough by Chris Doe, even though it's hard to get now. But I think he has a signed copy on his website. And then we have Creative Strategy and the Business of Design by Douglas Davis, and then Oversubscribed by Daniel Priestley. Oversubscribed is my favorite book, but it's more for when you become so in demand, you got to make some radical changes. So it really just catapulted me to a different stratosphere when it came to being in demand. Like I was doing 6 figures like a couple years straight, but just working with so many clients, being burnt out, just tired, making money but tired. So reading Oversubscribe helped to catapult me. It's like, all right, look, I can go ahead and get to 15 to 20 in, the 20K projects and be straight. And don't have to work with so many clients. So it kind of gave me that. It helped me give myself permission to do that and not feel bad about it. Let me see. Okay. Yes, I appreciate y'all. Yes, thank you guys. Y'all are the best. Yeah, that's good too. I have this too, but I may be a little controversial when it comes to my stance on that. I don't care what other people are charging. So I don't really care what the guidelines are. Well, the ethics is a given, but I may be weird when it comes to that. I may be delusional. I don't know. Maybe I live in my own little world. But I kind of just felt my market out, created my own market. That's what oversubscribe teaches you how to do. Create your own market where what the next guy's doing with this average price is, what that market says you should be charging for, you can make it irrelevant. So read that book, oversubscribe. But yeah, you should have that because I don't know, I may be an anomaly and I'm like I said, I'm still charging pennies. I ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like my highest tier offers between 20 25K. I know that's still pennies compared to a lot of agencies and other freelancers that are just killing it. But yeah, still that's a good one to have. That's a good one to have. But like I think took one look at it. I got it over there on the show. I was like, that's lower than what I'm charging. I don't want to be influenced by that. You know what I'm saying? So okay. Charlotte, dang, I told my wife, she's like, you think this one's supposed to be 20 minutes? You think this was going to be closer to 20 minutes? I said, yeah, babe, this was going to be about 20, 30 minutes tops. She's like, you said that last time. I was like, trust me. Here we are. I went to the joint. Charlotte, it's good to see you again. Website maintenance packages. Yeah, so I do a couple things. So I got a couple small maintenance packages. It's like between $99 and $300 for like 1, 2, and 3 hours of maintenance, respectively. And then the overages are billed at hourly rate. But then like I've kind of gotten away from offering that. But if they need it, they can get it. But what I do at the end of every website session is do like either a Zoom or recorded meeting showing them how to make updates to their site. And I use Wix exclusively, so it's not anything major. Once the hard work is done on my end, it's got to make minor tweaks. They mess it up, they mess it up. You know what I'm saying? I got the recordings. I know what the site looks like. I got a copy of it in my account, but in most cases they don't. They may have a small team member or they'll hit me up and say, hey, Marshall, can you make these tweaks? So, and then I'll give them a quote or whatever. So sometimes clients will be like, they'll come back to me a few months later. Hey, we got a list of changes we want to make. Can you make them? I'm like, all right, well, it's going to be $1,000 or whatever for those changes. And then I'll invoice them and make the updates. Other times the clients, somebody on their team will update it. They'll make minor updates. But that's one way. And then the other way is I just have some retainers, some higher level retainers where I do everything under the sun for like, let's say $2,500, $3,000 a month. Whatever you need, and you get a certain amount of hours for that. It's got a couple people on that because I don't like feeling like an employee, and it's capped at a certain level of hours, and you only get a couple over. So I have a few clients that are on that. So I just do whatever they need. They need website updates, anything, logo design, flyers. That's why I say I still do flyers to this day. You know what I'm saying, for my retainer clients, but they paying me. You know what I'm saying, about $36,000 a year. Yeah, I hope that answers your question. Yeah, I do everything under the sun. I know I was coaching a designer. It's like, yeah, I do the retainers, but I don't do logos. And on one hand, look, you come to me for a logo, a la carte is $5K or $10K if you do full branding. I could do a few logos within the retainer for the $3K, but I'm playing the long game. I'd rather that client's gonna be paying me $36,000 a year, guaranteed. Versus a la carte here and there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's a trade-off because I could make more money a la carte charging that client over the year. Maybe not, but I don't mind, putting them on a retainer and just doing whatever. You know what I'm saying? So. And one-on-one. So I've kind of gotten away from the one-on-ones, but we could talk. Give me till next week, because I'm launching on Monday. But just full transparency, I'm just trying to do stuff in order. I'm not trying to do a whole bunch of things. I like I mentioned on, I think it was the first or second episode, I got a certain level of respect for the coaching space. I'm not just trying to be out here like, hey, I'm a coach now that I know what I'm doing. No, I'm trying to follow a system, y'all, that I've invested heavily into. I'm trying to do things in order. Make sure I have a thorough understanding of what I'm doing, the questions I'm asking, to make sure I'm as effective as possible. Not out here just winging it all willy-nilly. So with that said, I was doing one-on-ones. Clients have had success, but now I'm like, all right, following the system. Okay, put your program out. then start to offer more coaching packages where it'll be like, say, 4 sessions or 6 sessions where you can have a structured process for them to follow and make sure you can follow up and make sure that they're actually getting results and, and all of that, rather than, oh, yeah, here's a whole bunch of stuff you can do. Good luck. You know what I'm saying? So even though people have success with that, but I'm just trying to do things in order and I'm trying to stay focused on one thing at a time. So by this time next year, I'm sure I'll have a full suite of coaching services built out. But as of right now, got the program coming out, and then going to introduce the coaching packages. But I wouldn't mind doing a one-on-one, but just give me till next week and let's just discuss that offline if possible. Okay. Yes, absolutely. Yep. So yeah, if you're not in the group, Leah, is it Leah or Lee? So I know my sister's middle name is Lee, spelled the same way. So I don't know if it's Leah or Lee. But yeah, join the group. Goodtogo.group. Appreciate it. If it's just good to go on Facebook, to go.group. Somebody can drop that in there. Good to go.group. So yeah, y'all. So I know we kind of over. I'm willing to take any last couple questions that you guys may have. So I guess I'll wait a second. But yeah, so I know this is the last episode, the finale. So so the special announcement. I kind of already talked about it, but my masterclass is coming out on Monday. Was done. It's being released on Monday. The 4-step framework for a steady 6-figure graphic design business. I gotta emphasize steady because it's not a situation where it's like, I mean, y'all know, if you've been rocking with me, you already know the receipts. You know what I'm saying? Like I got the whole year by year breakdown in the masterclass, so you can see the actual revenue year by year. But it's not one of those situations like, oh, my man had a good year, he hit 6 figures, all of a sudden he's a coach. Nah, like I've been doing 6 figures. I think the first year in 3 months it was like 18K, which is okay. But I'm proud of it because I was in a brand new industry. Then the next year it's like 54, and then one something, then two something, then two something. And then this year it'll be another 2 something. So steady 6 figures. Steady 6-figure graphic design business. Okay. The 4-step framework for a steady 6-figure graphic design business coming out on Monday. If you're not on my list to be notified, just join a group and I'll add you to my list. Yeah, good to go if you're a designer for designers only. Make sure you fill out the and Joe probably reminded folks, fill out the questions. Make sure you fill out the questions, the membership questions. Okay, I add you to the list. Make sure you notify, and it will lead, just full transparency, it's leading into my signature program. I'm not gonna keep it a secret. People try to do that like it's not an offer at the end of it. It's amazing, y'all. I'm putting the finishing touches on it this weekend. Oh my God, I can't wait because it's a game changer. It's much needed. A step-by-step process, y'all, like a whole framework you got to follow step by step. That's going to pretty much guarantee you have success in the space. You know what I'm saying? I know I can't make guarantees, but it's like if you follow the system, all work works. That's all I'm gonna say. It's like it's no way you can fail. So I'm really excited about it. I'm pumped up. I probably invested about $50,000 into this, building this, between what I invested into building it, like the system I'm using, the program I'm using, and then just me turning down business as well, so I can focus on this. So I'm so pumped about it, y'all. Like it's been a crazy ride the past couple months in a good way, but it's needed, and it's needed right now, y'all. It's needed right now. Like I said, it's sad because a lot of designers are gonna go out of business, and maybe I should be more focused on trying to get more of a following so I can reach more people. But I just want to be able to impact some folks. But the designers who say, "Look, I'm not gonna be the bargain brand anymore." I mean, you kind of have to say that. If not, you are going to get put out of business by this recession. It's a fact. It's a fact. You're not going to be able to sustain yourself with those low-paying clients. Those clients that just have so many demands. They're annoying to work with. They don't really value. They don't let you do your job. I've been there, y'all. Like, you're going to go crazy. You're going to go crazy, like mentally insane. You're probably already on the verge of doing that anyway. I know I was. What we do already is mentally exhausting, right? So good to go. Yeah, I appreciate it, Christine. Yes, it's coming, y'all. It's coming on Monday. Yes, 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 yes. Um, no doubt, no doubt. Thank you. I appreciate y'all for turning in. So I'll just leave y'all with this. So that was a special announcement. Got my masterclass coming out on Monday, and it's leading into my signature program. So we're gonna have our own private community. We're gonna be doing feedback Fridays. If you guys wonder if you're in a group why I stopped doing feedback Fridays in the free group, it's because I need to find a way to separate it from the other group for the people who enroll in the program. So I'm gonna be doing them in there. Okay. And shout out to those who have helped me kind of develop it. Those who enrolled into my mini course that when I was doing that, 6 on Wix, and other people who I've coached, because you guys provided me with the testimonials for this joint. So I appreciate y'all, man. So I just want to leave y'all with this, okay? Because if you found value in this and you don't ever see me again, if you're like, all right, well, that was cool. Because there's a whole rack of designers out here. They just take free content and they just do what they do. That's why what I'm doing is so needed, because there's a lot of designers, they don't really believe in themselves, even though you don't really have to believe in yourself. You just have to find a process and follow it. Because I ain't believe in myself. I made like $500,000 before I believe in myself, right? But it's a whole lot of designers. Mindset is a big thing. It's a big hindrance. We have so many limiting beliefs where they don't invest in themselves. They just take the free content off of YouTube and stuff like this, and they just go on about their business. Like, that's why I try to help designers in my group, like, break out of that. Like, it's like my man, I'm not gonna say his name, but we talked about it. He's like, oh, I know what to get. Chris told me what to get it, but it was a year ago. I couldn't afford it. It's like, well, you still need it. You know it's gonna help you. So why haven't you put $20 a week or $20 a month aside to get it? So it's like I'm trying to help designers break out of that mindset and be growth minded and not be operating scarcity and lack. Because that's not what high level clients are doing. That's not what high paying clients are doing when they're building their businesses. They got a recession. They're not holding on to their coins. They're investing aggressively. So, you know what I'm saying? So you gotta be the same way. You gotta be the same way. But there's a lot of designers who will just take this free content and then hopefully use it and apply it, but they won't invest in themselves beyond that. So if that's you, I still hope this was valuable for you. Just wasn't a 4-episode sales pitch. It's not. Even the masterclass on Monday, even though it leads into my program, it's not a sales pitch. It's still value. And if you haven't gotten that from me, I don't know what to tell you, but I'm all about giving people value. All right. So with that said, I want to leave you with this. And get off the sidelines, y'all. The ground is still fertile. You're needed. You're essential. A lot of designers they feel like they just dipping their toe in the water. They're trying to see if it's going to work out. La, la, la. They got plan B and plan C that they thinking about. They're like, I'll probably run to that if this doesn't work out. Nah, realize, look, you're needed. You're essential. You have to assume the identity. If you're not even full-time, assume the identity of a full-time designer right now, a high-level designer. Say, look, this is what I am. Even myself, I'm like, I'm not a millionaire, okay? I made $1 million. It took 6 years. I'm not a millionaire. I made $1 million in a calendar year. I'm not afraid to say that, okay? But I'm assuming the identity of one, okay? The stuff I listen to, the stuff I read, the neighborhoods I visit, the vacations I'm taking, etc. I'm assuming that identity right now. My habits, my mindset, I'm assuming that identity. Okay? So assume the identity of a high value designer even before you are a highly paid designer. You can make $250,000 plus per year. I know people who are making more than me. $400,000, $500,000 a year. And they are loving it. They're having fun. They're not necessarily teaching it. And not everybody's meant to be a teacher, right? So assume the identity of a high value designer, highly paid designer. Okay. You're not just dipping your toe in the water. You're not just passing through. You're essential. You're an essential worker. We need you because, like I said, there are so many high paying clients out here and they don't know what to do. I can't take them all. I barely even want to work with the ones I have. I mean, I like the ones I'm working with now on retainer and stuff, but people in my inbox every day. I don't even have, it's like I make it really hard for you to find out how to reach me as far as doing business. I just have my Facebook group linked in my bio. People like, how can I do business with you? So, I try to plug them in with other designers. The goal used to be to make 6 figures. Now the goal is to give 6 figures worth of projects away. All right. But I'm saying all that to say the ground is still super fertile. So everybody who rocks with me, who follows me, who learns from me, I'm not trying to make you mini me's, but I'm trying to show you how to position yourself to stand out a little bit differently, and somebody will come into contact with your brand, whether it's on social media, on YouTube or whatever, and be like, look, they different. I want to work with them. There's something about them that's different. Of course, you want to have high level outcomes and stuff like that, but that's a small part of it, to be honest, as far as getting people to work with you. Um, the proof is gonna be in the pudding. Like that's a given, okay? Um, you got to be able to do that. But like in my program and stuff, we go over the whole self assessment thing and self worth and self value and all of that. But yeah, assume the identity of a high level, high value, highly paid designer right now. Okay, you're essential. You're needed. We need you now, ASAP. All right. So let me just check in real quick. You got a passion for design? I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm definitely passionate about this teaching and training. But yeah, look, I appreciate that, Charlotte. Bessie, great to see you again. Yes, Evie, I know you gotta run. Thanks for tuning in all the way from Australia. That's super dope. It's great to see you. Shout out to Evie, y'all. She is amazing. One of my coaching clients. We gotta catch up. Okay. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. If you could just hit the like button on the way out if you're on YouTube, join the group if you haven't already. And I will keep you guys posted, y'all. And Monday is the day. Got 83 hours, 41 minutes, and 38 seconds left. All right, y'all. Peace. My man. All right, Christina. I'll see y'all. Peace.